Another new item is the frame. I'm not sure I understand all of this. I have 5 of them made. Theoretically, let's find a blank wall here. Well, I didn't leave any blank walls. What a silly Billy. Let's take the picture down. Okay. Put the frame there. And they look different in their pictures of them. You hold the item in your hand, and then you right click. Ha! You have a cookie. Okay. I should have put all this down here to start with. Okay, Eye of Ender. Magic Bow, which turned out to be, it was a power one, don't worry about it. Skeletons have been dropping them. And I'm sure you weren't worried about whether I lost a magic bow or not. Carrot, I like that. And kind of like to put something on the edge for reasons that we will get to in a moment. Well, let's just hold one. Okay, now it says you can put a torch or lever on the edge. That just moved. That's weird. It moves it around in there. Oh, and a map. I forgot to put a map in one. Can be rotated by right-clicking on it. Maps show their contents, and yeah, I meant to put a clock or a compass in. I don't know why you'd want a compass in one. I was going to put a clock. We'll go get a clock and do it. When broken, the frame drops both itself and the item it contains. Player can use item frames to hold items for convenient retrieval or reference instead of having to open a chest or dispenser to receive or verify specific items. So the clock makes sense. The map sort of makes sense. I think they'd just be attractive to me. Can be used to label chests, dispensers, etc. So I guess you would, by that they mean you would stick what you were going to put in the dispenser in the frame, and that way you would, instead of writing it on a sign, I guess would be their point. And it can also be used to hold fire. Now I checked fire and it still has to be hacked into the game, so that's kind of cool that you could, you know, put some, I guess there's places where there'd be, it looks a lot like a player versus player kind of thing. Alright, that's a good map. Or a server thing is what I meant to say. Well, clock? I think that would be handy in a way. That's ice. That's a punky pie, and that's always handy. And there's our map. I think the map is just cool as hell. Oh, that just turns it around. I thought, you know, maybe you could access it in some way. Okay, that's the switch thing. Can you see that? I hope you can. What we've done is we put the frame there, we put the switch on it, and we've color coded it. So if you had a row of switches, you could color code them. Pardon me a minute, I have to clear my throat or I'll die. That's the color coded switch. So what we did there, if you weren't following it, or what I did there was put the frame on, put the wool on, and put the switch And the switch didn't go on that time. There, right there. What about right here? Okay, that does it. If you touch the picture, it just rotates the thing in the picture. If you touch the block next to it, so what you're doing is you're telling it to go onto the block. I just got lucky the first time. Okay, let's see what a torch does there. I tried to lay that frame on top, and you can't. I couldn't lay it horizontal, which doesn't surprise me. Alright, we want to put the torch there. Alright, that's kind of... If for decorative effects, I guess that'd be kind of cool for your torches. I imagine some people don't like the way just, bare torches look in a... it does kind of look like a medieval crap hole if you're the kind that spends a lot of work on what you were doing. Okay, so that's why that sounded Greek to me, because I didn't understand it. So you can color code if you had a row of switches, and you can make your torches pretty. A lot of this is stuff like that. I just did it again. Okay, well that's cool. I don't think it's for me especially, but the switch thing, if I had a bunch of switches, I think the map is just dynamite, and that ender eye was kind of cool. You could do some kind of a pattern with different things doing different effects. I guess you could just spend a whole day of your time just messing with stuff. He said as he began to mess with stuff. Throw them all on the wall. We have a golden apple. We have a watermelon. You could do themes. Have a saddle. Too bad they don't have a riding crop or a whip. And a jack-o'-lantern. He looks like if you had one of the heads, that would be cool. It seems from what I read that the heads are basically from either wither skeletons or withers, and you have to create those. So we might create a wither and kill him at some point. What I was curious about with this was, what if you don't use wool? Punky Pie, switch. Ah, I see it doesn't stick out far enough. Okay, that makes sense, because the item actually protrudes, and I'm not sure to what. You can see it on the jack-o'-lantern that the block sticks out. I don't know if I have I have torches with me. I was just messing with them. You can see from the side that the actual block protrudes there. So what was I thinking? I was thinking the ice. And now we put, yeah, we got to do the, okay. So any block that protrudes, so you could put the old jack-o'-lantern there. Did I bring more than one? Guess not. Oh, don't be up there. Or you can put it on this other side. Jack, where'd you go? Did I lose the jack-o'-lantern? Oh, I had a whole bunch anyway. Instead, it's past my bedtime. Hard to turn this down now. Get some light on our subject. Throw a switch on him. Yeah, well, that's just cool as hell. I could do that. I'll just have to think of something that would switch. Redo my door switches. Oops, did it wrong. Put the torch there. And we have a jack-o'-lantern torch. But we need to turn his... Oh, he can turn his face upside down. And we have jack-o'-torch. Now this is the one that of course we have to do. That's a block of ice. And this is a torch. Evidently, it's some other physical area of existence at this point in time. It says you can stack them. Let me go to this and I don't know how you would display the crafting and brewing recipe. I can't think of anything written down, because you can write them in a book, but I don't, if you put a, well, I've got books. That's the only reference I can think of in regards to that. Let's see if there's something written in this. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Now that just turns it round and round. Yeah, no, that didn't access the book itself. Okay, put it down. Well, you can't open the book and then click on it again, so yeah, I don't know how you do that. Item frames can be used to display crafting and brewing recipes. If you figure that one out and you feel like sending me a message, God bless you. Alright, it also talks about putting an item frame inside an item frame. Okay. Now we can't put anything else in that. What else could we do with that? Well, that doesn't accomplish squat. I think that must be what they're calling a gold frame around a torture. A torch. Torture. This is torture. Okay, I think we've got about as far as we can go with that. It's leather and sticks like a picture with leather in the center instead of wool. If it's full-size block, it protrudes. I think you could do some stuff like if you had a block of gold, you could put that in there. Okay. Yeah, in creative you'd have just oodles of stuff that, you could have whatever you wanted to. Alright, that's a block of gold. And where do we put our torch? We put our torch there? Yeah. Well, there we go. You have a torch in a golden holder. And so that's everything I can think of. I think the Halloween switch is kind of cute. And I did it wrong again. Come around right side up, buddy. And on the block, the Halloween switch. So we can turn on Halloween, turn off Halloween. On, off. So that would be frames. And I think the heads would be cool, but that's because I've got, that kind of morbid guy thing going on. So we've done flower pots, anvils, and frames. The beacon requires something that some kind of crystal that drops from a wither, so that's a down the road thing. I remember the beacon being something that wasn't going to happen for me soon, or I guess as soon as I figure out a way to kill a wither, make a wither and kill a wither.